Hey, welcome back. Let's now work on pulling in a sales value for this particular column right here. And as we talked about in earlier videos, there's going to be a repeat of the same value in every column. Once in the regular value column, and then once in this column that shows the total for that section. So there's several ways we could approach this. Get creative. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sum the entire row and divide by 2, because that's going to give me the same. Now again, as I mentioned in previous videos in this series, I'm making assumptions that the pattern holds true for all of these. And sometimes assumptions can be a problem. Now there are ways of checking. I could easily run a quick formula here to double check that that's true. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to just trust that this pattern does hold true. But again, your results may vary if your data doesn't quite hold true in terms of this pattern. So the point here is that every spreadsheet might be structured differently, and you may have a different solution for the spreadsheet you're working on. So we're going to just simply sum the entire row. Since I know it's repeated, and I'm just going to divide it by 2, that's going to give me the correct number. Okay, like I said, there would have been other ways to do this as well. But I always like to check my work so I can see that the values are going to be the same. Looks like this method worked just fine. Again, I'm just doing a random spot check here. Random checking is surprising in what it can tell you. If you check 10, 12 rows and they're all good, most likely you're okay. Again, if it's mission critical, you'd want to do a complete check of every single row. But for the purposes of what we're doing here, this random check is telling me that what we did is going to work. Okay. So now we have all these, and we want to go ahead, and these are all still formulas. So we're going to save them as values here. And before you save as values, whenever I've taken some time to build formulas like we did here, let's say that later I found a problem or an error in my formulas. I may not want to have to go back and reinvent the wheel and redo those formulas. So what I would do is save another version of this file, save it as like version 1, version 2, version 3. And that way, once you save it, then as a new file name with the new version number, then if for some reason you overwrite these formulas with values like we're about to do here, then you have a record of those formulas. So if you want to go back to an earlier version, you can always do that. But again, as you can tell, these are formulas still, because if I put my cursor here in this cell, I can see that there's a formula that comes up, not a value. Same with these other 2. So let's highlight these 3 columns. I'm going to do Control-C, right-click, paste as values. Now, you can see that now if I put my cursor in this, or my pointer here, you can see that these are all actually just values. So getting real close. You might want to spot check it one more time, double check everything looks good. Like for example, this is a home office situation, as it says here. This is a standard class, because it's in the standard class column. And so it looks like the data is looking good. So we're almost there.